What's going on, guys? Lee here, and I'm your coach to the Portland Trail Blazikens, bringing you Week 3 of the IBL Mono-Gen League versus Will, who has Generation 1 coach of the, Somerset Steenees. His team is as follows: Clefable, Needleking, Slowbro, Moltres, Magneton, Licky Tongue, Tangela, Dragonite, and Hitmonlee. So, it's a really scary team. You can go with like Calm Mind or Stored Power Clefable. Needleking is obviously always an enormous threat. Licky Tongue is super annoying alongside Tangela. Dragonite can be offensively powerful. And then Will even swept a team last week with Hitmonlee. So a lot of power, a lot of potential coming out of his team. And I would do my best to confront all of them. And then my team on the left here is a reminder: Garchomp, Togekiss, Rotom, Mo, Probopass, Mismagius, Monferno, Weavile, Babero, and Mesprit. So, we're just going to go right into the team I built, starting with Weavile, the Bandito with Life Orb, Knockoff, Icicle Crash, Ice Shard, and Low Kick. Icicle Crash is just, main stab plus Knockoff. Ice Shard for Dragonite mostly, and then Low Kick for, Licky Tongue, I guess. I'm not exactly sure why I did it. I built this a while ago. Max attack, enough speed for, I don't know. Maybe that outspeeds Scarf Magneton. That's what I'm gonna go with, but I'm honestly not exactly sure what that speed is. But yeah, moving on. Garchomp outspeeds his whole team, because I think his fastest mon is Moltres at 90. Yeah, Moltres at 90. Besides the Scarfers and Unburdened boosted Hitmonlee. And so I can easily get Rocks up. I'll run a Sash. I can maybe get a Swords Dance and then kill something, plus get Rocks up. If, Will decides to get Rocks up on turn 1 alongside with me, then I still have my Sash intact. I'm at full health. I get a Swords Dance and then bop something. So, max attack, enough speed for Moltres, and then the rest in HP. We have a Spadef Mesprit. I think this is just kind of like a pseudo Magneton switch. Ice Beam Psychic can take on most things, plus Toxic and U-Turn. Conveniently, if this was my Magneton switch, I can't really touch it. So, good job, me. Besides that, yeah, just a good pivot. Rotom Mo, which is kind of my answer to some of his threats. Leaf Storm, Volt Switch, Foul Play, and Trick. So Trick would be good for Licky Tongue, good for Tangela, good for Clefable, I guess good for Slowbro, potentially good for Dragonite. So really, Trick is a good, stop where you are. You can no longer switch up your moves. And then Foul Play is also good for Dragonite, especially if the Wonder Scale or Marvel Scale or whatever whatever it is, when the set's broken with Rocks up, which again, my Sash lead Garchomp is meant to do. We have Grunty, the Mismagius, with Shadow Ball, HP Fighting, Substitute, Nasty Plot. Once again, with Speed Creeping Moltres. If I can get the sub up and then a Nasty Plot, especially if there's no Scarfers left, it's game over. If I'm behind a sub and there's one Scarfer, we're still good because, the Scarf would break the sub, but I still outspeed the rest of the team. And then lefties, because I just didn't really know what else to put on it. In case, I maybe failed with the sub or something like that. And then finally we have a Wish Passing Togekiss Salt Bay with Dazzling Gleam and Air Slash, so just dual annoying stabs. Wish Protect, physically defensive. Again, because Magneton could be really annoying for my team, just giving me a Wish Pass into Miley Cyrus, the Mesprit, to take those hits would be nice, because he might go for a Thunderbolt on the Togekiss, which I'm dipping out and going Rotom, or I'm dipping out and going Mesprit. So it gives me an answer, as a semi-pivot with that Wish and Protect. And then I think he had some base 80 mana just to anti-speed creep, whatever. But yeah, so there's the team. We'll just jump right into the replay. And it looks like I need to switch sides. I don't know how to do that right now. So I'm going to make sure the music is off. I'm going to click play. And we're going to switch sides. So yeah, right away, I lead my Garchomp, and he decides... Ooh, spoilers. And he decides to lead Nidoking. And so here was my thought process. One, why does this look so weird? Let's see if I can open this up. Let me tighten it. I don't know. Whatever. The interface is cool enough. So my thought was Scarf Nidoking, Ice Beam, knocks me down the sash. I'll kill it with an Earthquake. Nidoking that is sashed himself. I'll be faster, and I'll EQ. And then he'll Ice Beam, bring me down the sash. Now we're both the sash. I'm still faster. And even if he has Sucker Punch, he'll die to Skin, the Rough Skin. If he is Shuckleberry, he'll still die to 2, and I'm still faster. A lot of different options that, for me, getting rid of Nidoking pretty much never means that Garchomp dies, if that makes sense. No matter what. If he tries to 1v1 me, Garchomp will live on 1, Nidoking will be dead. End of story. And so, to me, I'm like, alright, I am just going to click Earthquake and see what happens. So he Ice Beams, brings me down to 1%. I click the EQ, bye-bye, Nidoking. And so then here we get to kind of see what he wants to bring in next. And since he goes Slowbro, I'm okay with sacking off the Garchomp while getting up rocks. Had he went Dragonite or maybe even Hitmonlee, which Hitmonlee would have been a little bit more risky. Had he went Dragonite just because he still has that, what exactly is it? It's, why can't I hover over? It's like the only 2 Pokemon I can't hover over. What the heck? Well, either way, because the Dragonite would still have his scale intact, he would be able to live any one hit from Garchomp. He knows I'm not Scarfed, so maybe he was going to go for a dance there. Then I wouldn't have been able to get rocks up. But since he went Slowbro, I'm like, alright, I'll toss up rocks and I'll let him kill me. That's totally fine with me. Now, at this point, I got rid of his only ground type in Nidoking already, so now I get to go Rotom and Volt Switch for free the rest of the game, which I think was, super nice. So I go, Rotom, Volt Switch from Tangela into Mismagius. Now, I just automatically want to click sub to scout what he wanted to do, because a lot of the times you're going to see a Leech Seed, or in this case, a Sleep Powder from, a Tangela. They don't know, I thought maybe he'll knock off, but again, because I'll have the sub up, he'll knock me off, break the sub, I'll just go back up to 81% or whatever. No harm done. But he does decide to go for the Sleep Powder, which does make sense. But that gives me a completely free turn. I get some lefties up, I'm back to 82. And then now I can just completely freely go for a Nasty Plot. And in fact, if he didn't have knockoff, he might have not even broke the sub. Which, I don't know. But either way, so now Grunty is +2. I just click Shadow Ball, and Tangela does live, which surprises me, because he must have had some Spadef investment to live that. And now, kind of looking at his team, Slowbro is probably defensive. Tangela is probably specially defensive. And, yeah. So he took the hit, fires off a knockoff, and he doesn't kill me because, it's a Tangela. But he does a really good chip. And then I do still get to kill him the next turn with Shadow Ball. And so at this point, now had he went for, it would have been a really risky play for him as well, but had he went for a Sleep Powder instead of the knockoff, it would have been annoying, obviously. But I then would have been at 90% on Mismagius and yada yada. But yeah, I thought I was going to kill. I don't really run Kelks during Monogen here, because it's more of a casual league. But I did really expect that Shadow Ball to kill the Tangela. So I guess technically a misplay on my part. But yeah, either way. So then he goes into Magneton. And I'm not sure if he's, a double Scarfer alongside Nidoking. If he's maybe Specs, which I could see him being. Like Specs plus Speed Creeping Togekiss. He could be Eviolite, I suppose. But in every situation besides Scarf, Grunty just kills with a Hidden Power Fighting. And so I just fire it off. No big deal to me there. And then, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, as long as I can kill this Hitmonlee, we're good. Because Slowbro's going to be slower, and Dragonite's going to be slower, and you can't click E-Speed with Dragonite. However, Hitmonlee, I think, because it has 110 Spadef, I think this roll was 88 to 100. in some like low 100s. So it was pretty much a 50-50 unless he has HP invest, which he certainly could. Because I don't know what he might speed creep just Togekiss. I don't remember what Hitmonlee's. He might speed creep Rotom otherwise, because I think Hitmonlee's 88 speed, but he would be able to speed creep Rotom, have like 20 HP, and so the roll would be in his favor either way. But to me, it doesn't matter. I've done enough damage with Mismagius that I'm just going to fire off the Shadow Ball and make sure that this Hitmonlee can't do anything scary. Then he goes Dragonite, which I, again, will just proceed to fire off another Shadow Ball, because that's going to kill him after his thingy's broken. And then he goes Slowbro, which obviously will also die to a Shadow Ball unless he's Berry. And so it was a pretty quick game. It went downhill, or like just moved very quickly. There's a couple moments that like it wasn't like just a handedly done sweep. If that Hitmonlee was a dirt with a berry, things could have gotten potentially scary. If Tangela would have went for a sleep powder, knowing he was gonna live instead of going out for that knockoff, and then had I gotten like 3 turns of sleep, then he really wouldn't have lost much momentum there, because Tangela might have been able to just 1v1 my Mismagius, and then I wouldn't have even killed a single Mon with it. So there's definitely a lot of plays that, like, it wasn't just a clear mismatch. It just went well in my favor. But either way, good game to Will. That brings us up to 3-0 in the league. Again, it's only a 5-week season, and so I think I need to just win one more to guarantee playoffs. I don't know if I have a good diff, if 3-2 is good enough, but obviously I'd like to win the next week and see where we go from there. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next one. You also might see that I'm starting to upload APA, Odyssey battles, or I will be. The first week starts like today. So I'll be doing those, and then obviously IBL when the 5th official season rolls around. So stay tuned for all those, and then plus I'm doing some Showdown Lives because I'm actually pretending to be a YouTuber. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye.